What's up everybody, I'm Seth Fowler and today I'm counting down the top 5 Air Jordan 1 releases of 2017. Thanks so much for tuning in today guys. Make sure to give me a follow on Instagram and on Twitter at @RealSethFowler if you haven't yet, but with all that being said, let's get into it. 2017 has turned out to be an insane year for sneakers, and I've got to be honest, at the beginning of the year, I didn't think it was going to be this great. In fact, to be honest with you, I kind of thought it was going to be a bummer of a year, but you know what? I'm glad to be proven wrong. And as you guys all know, the Air Jordan 1 is my favorite sneaker silhouette. I love the way the shoe looks, I love how versatile it is, I love all the colorways that have dropped, and this year, man, there have been some winners, for sure. So I figured because it's December and the year is winding down, why not do some top 5s of all the best sneakers of the year? So I wanted to start things off strong with the top 5 Air Jordan 1s of 2017. Quick disclaimer, this video is all my opinion. These are the shoes that I thought were most influential or I liked the most this year. I did ask people on Twitter what they thought the best Air Jordan 1 releases of this year were, but based on that feedback and my personal preferences, these are the shoes that I think are the top 5 best Air Jordan 1s of 2017. So starting off the list with an honorable mention, it's the Air Jordan 1 Metallic Red. This is a classic Air Jordan 1 colorway that didn't really get a lot of love this year and unfortunately went pretty quickly to the sales section. But for people who really like the shoe, that ended up being a good thing because they were able to grab it for a pretty solid price. I already have the metallic blue Air Jordan 1s and I tend to wear more blue, so the metallic reds, although I thought they were great, weren't something I really needed in my collection. Starting off the list at number 5, it's the Air Jordan 1 Aleli May Shadow. First off, you have to give huge props to Aleli May for being one of the first bloggers, models, and influencers to design their own Air Jordan sneaker. That's huge that she's one of the first people who isn't an athlete or a musician designing her own Air Jordan sneaker. It gives hope to a lot of us normal people that maybe one day we'll be able to design an Air Jordan sneaker. I mean, it's still very unlikely, but now it's not out of the realm of possibility, and that's sick. But not only is the woman behind the sneaker itself very cool, but also the shoe she designed looks pretty good. The colorway is obviously inspired by the Shadow Air Jordan 1, but rather than using the standard leather, she actually changed up a lot of the materials for a much more unique look. The marquee feature of the shoe are the silver satin accents that really make the shoe pop and really make it seem like a more premium sneaker. The black parts of the shoe are made up of corduroy panels, and the swoosh is actually a silver chenille. To be honest, the corduroy and chenille are not really my thing, but I still think it's a really nice looking sneaker, and overall I think Aleli knocked it out of the park. Next up, coming in at number 4, it's the Air Jordan 1 Rust Pink. This shoe was a Twitter fan favorite and I wasn't originally going to include it because it hadn't released yet, but like every other comment was for the Rust Air Jordan 1, so I figured it had to go on the list. This sneaker's based off the black toe colorway, but it swaps out the red for a very nice rust pink. I think the reason so many people like this shoe is because a lot of people want to be able to rock pink, but most of the pinks available on Air Jordan 1s are either only in girls sizes or are really just too hot of a shade of pink. This is a perfect middle ground because this is a subtle shade of pink that's pretty easy to match with a lot of things, and it's on a black toe colorway, so it looks really clean. The shoe releases this December during Miami Art Week, and rumor has it it's going to be pretty limited and exclusive to that event. I'm not sure how hard it's going to be to get one of these pairs or how much resale is going to be, but expect it not to be a run-of-the-mill shoe. Coming in at number 3 on the list, it's the Air Jordan 1 Top 3 Gold. This is a fully patent leather gold, black, and white Air Jordan 1 that was originally thought to be exclusive to Complex Con, but lucky for the rest of us, it did get a wider release. The colorway is based off of last year's Top 3, which is based off the Royals, the Breads, and the Black Toes, and this time around, as I mentioned, they changed out the colors for gold, white, and black. The patent leather gives the shoe a really glossy and shiny look, which really accentuates the gold accents. Just like on the original Top 3, no one side of the shoe is the same. In fact, the tongue is white on one shoe and black on another, and also for that matter, the outsole is gold on one shoe and black on another. It's almost a what the colorway of the Air Jordan 1. The shoe is still pretty limited, and there's no word yet whether the shoe is going to get an even wider release, but we'll just have to wait and see. Coming in at number 2 is a personal favorite of mine and a shoe I originally had at the top of the list, but the more I thought about it and the more I debated on it, I think it's more of a second place. And that's nothing against the shoe. I think this is a great sneaker, and if the number 1 shoe didn't release and steal the show, I think this would have 100% been far and beyond everything else on the list. So finally, without further ado, coming in at number 2 is the Air Jordan 1 Royal. This is such a classic colorway and one of the most wearable sneakers I think of all time. The black and the blue play off each other really nicely, and I think the shade of blue is insane. One of the best parts about this release is that it was technically a remastered release, which means it actually upgraded the leather quality on the blue panels. Not only is the leather really nicely tumbled, but you can feel how much softer it is than standard Air Jordan leather. Whenever a Bread, Royal, or Shadow releases, you know it's a must cop, and in my case it was actually a double up. But being one of the most iconic Air Jordan 1s, you knew it had to make the list. Finally, coming in at number 1, a shoe that was sort of a surprise throughout the middle of the year, a collaboration that really shook up the industry and became one of the most coveted sneakers of the year, the Off-White Air Jordan 1. I've said this many times and I'll say it again, this is my favorite pickup of the year by far. Virgil Abloh and Off-White did such an excellent collaboration with Nike on this sneaker. I think they knocked it out of the park. Every little accent and detail is so well thought out, it's just Such like a next level shoe. As you can tell, it's based off the Chicago colorway of the Air Jordan 1, but Virgil really switched up a lot of the details, like moving the swoosh, adding his signature touch of air in quotation marks at the bottom. And then of course, just like all the other off-white sneakers in the collection, you have that off-white paragraph right there that says off-white for Nike, Air Jordan 1, Beaverton, Oregon, USA. Oh, and of course, you can't forget the shoelaces in quotation marks. This is such a different take on an Air Jordan collaboration. He took a huge risk, and I think it paid off. You guys definitely all knew that was coming because I talk about this shoe so much, but I mean, it just can't be said enough. This is an excellent sneaker. That pretty much wraps it up for the list. I'd love to hear what you guys think. Make sure to leave a comment in the comment section down below letting me know what you think the top 5 list should be, or if you agree with mine. And as always, guys, thank you so much for watching. Please make sure to give this video a big thumbs up if you liked it. Subscribe to me, Seth Fowler, if you want to see more content just like this, and follow me on all other forms of social media. The links will be in the description below.